My mother-in-law said I looked tired without makeup, so I showed up to her birthday party in full glam. So my mother-in-law Rachel has this thing where she makes these little comments that sound nice but actually feel like tiny slaps. Like when I'd come over after work, she'd be like, "Oh honey, you look so tired today. Maybe some concealer?" Or, "You have such potential, you just need to put a little effort in." I usually just brushed it off because my husband Dave would tell me she means well. But last month was the breaking point. We went to dinner at their house, and I had just worked a 12-hour shift at the hospital. I'm a nurse, so I'm literally saving lives, but I show up looking human instead of like an Instagram filter. Rachel opens the door, looks me up and down and goes, "Oh sweetie, you look absolutely exhausted. Maybe next time you could put on some mascara? It really brightens the whole face." Then she turns to Dave and says, "Your poor husband has to look at this every day." I felt my face get hot, but Dave just laughed it off like always. During dinner, she kept making comments about how her friend Linda's daughter-in-law always looks so put together and how important it is for wives to maintain themselves. I excused myself to the bathroom and just stared at my reflection, wondering if I really looked that bad. That night, I told Dave how his mom's comments were bothering me. He said I was being sensitive and that she just wants me to feel confident. I realized he was never going to defend me, so I started planning my revenge. Rachel's 65th birthday party was coming up in 2 weeks. She'd been planning this huge backyard celebration for months, inviting all her church friends and neighbors. She kept emphasizing how it was going to be a casual afternoon gathering, and telling everyone to just come as you are, nothing fancy. I spent the next 2 weeks getting ready. I booked appointments at the fanciest salon in town, got my hair professionally styled in these big Hollywood waves, went to Sephora and had them do a full glam makeup session where they taught me everything. I'm talking fake eyelashes, contour, highlight, the works. I bought this stunning emerald green dress that cost more than my car payment and some heels that made me feel like a supermodel. The morning of the party, I spent 3 hours getting ready. When Dave saw me, his jaw literally dropped. He was like, "Babe, you look incredible, but isn't this a little much for my mom's backyard party?" I just smiled and said, "Your mom always says I should put more effort in. Today I'm putting in all the effort." We showed up to this casual backyard barbecue, and I looked like I was heading to the Met Gala. Everyone stopped talking when I walked in. Rachel's mouth fell open. Her friend Margaret spilled wine on herself because she was staring so hard. I could hear people whispering about how amazing I looked. Rachel recovered quickly and came over with this fake smile. She was like, "Well, don't you look overdressed?" I gave her the biggest smile and said, "Thanks. I took your advice about putting more effort into my appearance. You always say I look tired, so I made sure to look extra awake today." The whole party, people kept complimenting me and asking where I got my dress, who did my makeup. Rachel's church friends were all over me, and I could see her getting more annoyed by the minute. When it was time for pictures, guess who everyone wanted photos with? Not the birthday girl. But here's where it gets even better. Rachel's sister Karen was there, and she pulled me aside. Turns out she'd been listening to Rachel trash talk me for months. Karen told me that Rachel always complained about how I let myself go, and how Dave settled for someone who doesn't care about her appearance. She was so embarrassed by her sister's behavior that she apologized and said I looked absolutely stunning. During the cake cutting, Rachel made this passive-aggressive speech about how some people know when to dress appropriately for occasions, while looking straight at me. So I stood up and made my own little speech. I thanked her for always encouraging me to reach my potential, and said that her constant advice about my appearance had really motivated me to show everyone what I could look like when I put in effort. Dave was mortified, but half the party was trying not to laugh.